Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation. My name is Baolong Zhang and my topic is COVID-3D online visualization dashboard. My supervisor is Professor Wei Liu and my student ID is 137-17780. So before we start, I would like to talk about today's contents. And at first, I will give you an introduction, then talk about the background, the problem we want to solve, and also follow with research design. I will talk about how we design the research, how we get the data from data source, how we gathering all the data, and create some procedures to analyze them. And after that, I will talk about the methodology we were using in the project, and follow with a demo of the project. And then I will give you a conclusion about what we learned and what we achieved. And after that, I will talk about the reference we were using in the presentation. So before we start, I would like to quote one sentence from John Tukey. He's a famous American mathematician. The greatest value of a picture is when it forces us to notice what we never expect to see. Actually, in our case, we were not using a picture, but we were using a 3D interactive visualizations, which is more attractive. And we were not to force our audience, like our users, to notice, because we want to attract our users and being attractive. For this project, I think everyone in this world today know the impact of COVID, but we don't know exactly how big is that impact and how broad is this impact, especially to our daily life and to general public who are lack of enough information and maybe don't have enough insights about the current COVID situation. So globally, as you see, until 27th of October, there are already been more than 244 million people confirmed that they are positive for the COVID-19. This is a huge number, and this really affects every one of us and affects our life. Currently, it is hard for us to find a 3D interactive visualization on the internet. As you see on the top right, there is a commercial software which you need to pay for the software, and you can use that to create 3D visualization for COVID-19. But for the general public, this is obviously not suitable for everyone. And in bottom right, there's a graph from WHO, their COVID dashboard. As you see, that is a 2D visualization. That is good, but I think that based on the limit of the technology and on the fundings, they cannot create a 3D visualization, because we know when we creating 3D objects is definitely more works than creating 2D one. And from another paper I read about, they were comparing the 2D visualization and 3D visualization for US elections, and it's pretty obvious that you can see the difference, because when you have another dimension, which is the head, and you can have more information in the same space visualizations, and for the audience, they will have they will just more quickly to get the insight from it. For the objectives of this project, there are 5 steps. First one is develop a functional online visualization website, and the second one is, in this website we need to develop an interactive 3D visualization to display the geographical data. And at the same time, we will track the project version by using GitHub, and this is good for the future maintenance. And we also need to deploy the website to a web server, so all of us can access it from everywhere. And last, we will try to optimize the workflow to running some automatically deploy scripts. And for the scopes and limitation of this project, because our target user is general public, so we want to cover as broad as we can, like to be our audience. But that also means we cannot give some very complex visualization, which is hard for them to understand. So what we want to do is, for this limitation, we want to find the most suitable visualizations and easy to use website to them. For the research design and methodology, I would like to start from the source of data. As you can see, there are three sources we are using. They include the WHO COVID data, New South Wales COVID data, and another one is the geographical data. This data is actually slightly different with the other two, because this one was using for, for optimizing our performance and for credibility, that we can use other data and put them into our projects. As you see, because when we get the data from WHO, they were offering CSV format data, which is like a table, but we were trying to transfer the CSV data into a JSON format, and then we were combining these two data and merge the data by matching the keys. Once the keys means the attributes like the country name, so we can give that country the geographical data, and then we get the final data that can be used in our project. And also for the New South Wales COVID data, we already have the geographical data, but we need to clean the data and create some clusters or for the similar data. And after that, we will be able to get the statistical data and use it in our project for the visualizations. So as you see, this is when we were retrieving the data from this is New South Wales data source, and what we get is the JSON file in this format. It is a data structure, and this is actually easy to use, and we can send them SQL sentence that we can get the data we want. And on the right side is the Google Map API we're using for optimizing the geographical data. And what we want to do is, like, this is the WHO data we mentioned before. We transfer this table into the serialized data structure that can be used in the modern web development. And the techniques we were using in this project include the React.js, which was taking charge of creating the bones and creating the overall structure of the website and take care of the compile. And for the Bootstrap, we've used it to help us to build the design and optimizing the design to have better layout. And for 3JS, we'll use it to create a 3D visualization. You will see later. That was a powerful website. Also, the scenes was also generated from using the 3JS. In bottom right, there's another library called Ant Design Chart, and this library was used for other visualization we used in the project. And at the very beginning of the project, I actually created a wireframe prototype for this project, because you can't start to coding from scratch. You need to have the concept, the structure in your mind. So that's why I created this. And as you see, all the elements in this software can be added. I made this 2-page, for creating the sense in my mind about what I'm gonna do in the future. And for the structure of the project, as you see on the left side, there's a file structure. We got a README, that's the document, like a simple document for self-description for our project. I will show after. And package.json was a file for handling all the version of the libraries, all the scripts that we use. node modules was the folder that stores all the libraries, and public was used for store some like pictures, like other sets, and the main code was written in the source src folder. And for the pages, you see that's a file for the layout. And for components, I want to emphasize because as you see, all the our project was building Red, which the philosophy is divided all the components into smallest unit, and that's why we use this. We're using we divide it into parts, and so the charts we taking in charge of these 4 charts, and the header we taking in charge of the header on the top, and 3 this folder this file was taking in charge of creating the 3D visualizations and for 3GS. And now I would like to give you a demo about the project. Talk is cheap. I will show you the project. So this is the online visualization, 3D COVID-3D visualization we were using. As you see, you can use your mouse to drag and drop. You can use the video to zoom in, zoom out, and the location of the outer bar on the surface of the Earth is represented based on their locations, like longitude and latitude, and the height was based on their how many cases in that country. And as you see, there are some thinner bar and some, the bigger bar, and the reason was because some of the data was too big, so I decided to increase the bottom arrow but decrease the overhead based on the scale. So for this globe, it's actually a sphere object in 3GS, and we created we added the texture onto it. And as you see, there's actually another layer of the texture taking charge of the outer clouds that makes the Earth more lively. And as you see on the side, there are 4 charts. So this one was the total cases in Australia in 2021, and you can hover to see the details. And for this one, it's an area chart that you can filter based on the state. So you will know, you can compare how many cases in each state in same day. On top right, there's a chart about lives lost by each group in New South Wales, and you can also hover on it to see the details. And bottom right, there's a rain chart that we use to represent how many the vaccination rate of the whole Australia. And up there's a navigation bar, and this is another one we probably add in the future. This was not required in this project, but as you can see later, I will talk a little bit more about this. And on the top right is you see there's a mock user. Actually, I created this by intentional because I want to make every user feel that I want to make this project more looks more formal and in real life. So every time you refresh, you get a new user from different background. And yeah, this is basically what we have for the demo. And then I would also like to talk a little bit more about the GitHub repository. And as you see, I should write a short description so everyone can easily know what is this project about. We have a lab demo of a tutorial for backup, and give you introduction, and there's some previews of the project. And also I told you how to simply reproduce the same project in your laptop that you can easily install in your website, just following the commands I provide. and also how to deploy this project. And later I also talk about the key dependencies we're using. We already covered this, and also the file structures we already covered this. And in the future, I was thinking to integrate this, because as you see this project, we have the terrain on the surface of the Earth, that you can use it to create a better visualization to users. And now let's back to our presentation. So for this COVID-3D visualization, to the target user groups, I think we create easy to use online 3D web applications that they can access from everywhere. And I think that I feel the gap between the target user and the data that we provided on the internet. Also to the industry, I reckon this project offered another approach to visualize the data, especially for the COVID data, because it's more like a faster pace development, and that's because before we always thinking 3D visualization we need to take way longer time than others to create, but actually by using this we have a easier way. But to myself, I would say this is really a good experience. That also it's my honor to work with Professor Velu, and he offered me so many helps during this project, and I really need to thank him for his patience and detailed instruction to me, and that is really supportive, and I think I learned a lot from him. And this is not only useful for this project, but also in the future work. I think what I learned is really helpful. And here are the references that we're using in this presentation. And thank you. And if you got any question, please contact me through the email.